Have you heard of the impressive Walls of Jericho? This city, known as the City of Palms, was the site of one of the most extraordinary stories in the Bible. A fortified place, with monumental walls that rose as symbols of power and security. But, in the face of the faith and obedience of the people of Israel, they miraculously collapsed. In today's video, we will explore every detail of this fascinating event, from how the walls were built to the spiritual lessons they teach us. Get ready to discover how the story of Jericho continues to inspire faith and perseverance today. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any content like this. Now, join us on this journey through faith, history, and biblical engineering. Jericho, known as the City of Palms, is widely recognized as one of the oldest cities in the world. Located in what is now the West Bank, near the Jordan River in the Middle East, Jericho is about 10 kilometers north of the Dead Sea. This natural oasis in the fertile Jordan Valley stood out amidst the arid desert, thanks to the abundance of natural springs, like the famous Elisha's Spring, which nourished its lush vegetation. In addition to its beauty and fertility, Jericho was a strategically fortified city, with impressive walls protecting its inhabitants and symbolizing power and security. Its geographic location made it a key point in controlling access to the Promised Land, making it the first major obstacle for the Israelites on their journey, led by Joshua. But why did Joshua attack Jericho? After Moses' death, Joshua was appointed by God to lead the people of Israel to the Promised Land, the land of Canaan, as fulfillment of the promise made to Abraham's descendants. Jericho, being the first major city on the route to Canaan, needed to be conquered not only for its strategic importance, but also as an act of obedience and faith. God commanded the Israelites to take the city as a demonstration of His faithfulness and as assurance that He would be with them in all future battles. It was before these monumental walls that Joshua and the people of Israel faced one of their greatest challenges on their journey, a battle that would mark not just the history of Israel, but also a profound lesson in faith and perseverance. The walls of Jericho are an impressive example of ancient engineering. According to historians and archaeologists, the city was protected by a two-layer defense system, an outer wall and an inner wall designed to withstand attacks and prolonged sieges. To imagine the grandeur, think of the outer wall as about the height of a two-story building, 6 meters high and 2 meters thick, enough to withstand attacks and prevent scaling. The inner wall, located closer to the center of the city, was even larger, estimated to be between 7 and 9 meters tall, equivalent to a 3-story building, and about 2 meters thick. This second wall protected the city's main core, where the elites lived and vital resources were stored. This layered system made Jericho a virtually impregnable fortress by the standards of the time. The materials used for these walls were simple, but highly effective. A solid base of local stones and clay bricks made from clay, water, and straw. For sealing, the bricks were shaped and sun-dried, a time-consuming process, but essential for ensuring durability. It's interesting to note that each square meter of these walls might have taken days to complete, due to the lack of advanced tools. Now, imagine rebuilding these walls today. With modern technology, such as construction machines, cranes, and prefabricated materials, a project of this magnitude could likely be completed in about 6 to 12 months, depending on available resources. However, in Jericho's time, building these walls probably took decades of hard labor, involving a large workforce to cut, shape, and position each brick and stone. To help visualize, imagine the outer wall covering the same area as a soccer field around the city, and the inner wall protecting an area roughly the size of 2 or 3 city blocks. Together, these structures were not just symbols of power, but also of advanced engineering and the social organization of the time. Despite all this grandeur, the walls of Jericho could not withstand the divine plan. This story reminds us that, regardless of the strength or security we may build, true victory comes from faith and obedience to God's plans. The fall of the walls of Jericho is one of the most extraordinary and symbolic events in the Bible. Under Joshua's leadership, the people of Israel followed a specific and unusual command given by God: to march around the city once a day for 6 days in complete silence, except for the sound of trumpets played by the priests. On the 7th day, God instructed them to march around the walls 7 times, and, at the end, to release a powerful battle cry. It was then that the walls collapsed. This event, described in detail in the book of Joshua, chapter 6, is often considered a miracle because it defies logical and natural explanations. However, historians and archaeologists suggest a few theories about how this could have happened. Jericho is located in a region with high seismic activity, and an earthquake could have caused the collapse of the walls. Another possibility is that the vibration caused by the shouting and trumpets, combined with a structural failure, contributed to the collapse. But regardless of the physical explanation, the moment was seen as a direct intervention by God, demonstrating His power and faithfulness to the people of Israel. To understand the magnitude of the event, imagine a wall 6 to 9 meters high, built to resist attacks and sieges, simply collapsing in front of a march and shouts. This not only symbolized military victory, but also served as a testimony of faith and obedience by the people of Israel. They trusted God's instructions, even when the plan seemed irrational to human eyes. The fall of the walls wasn't just a physical conquest, but also a spiritual victory, showing that no barrier, no matter how imposing it may seem, is too great for God. The fall of Jericho also marks a turning point in the Israelites' journey. It not only opened the way for the conquest of Canaan, but also strengthened the people's trust in Joshua as their leader and in God as their protector and provider. This event served as a reminder that, with faith and obedience, the impossible can become possible. The story of the walls of Jericho is not just a recounting of a historical event or an architectural feat. It is a powerful lesson in faith, obedience, and the sovereignty of God over all things. Jericho, with its imposing walls and strategic position, seemed insurmountable. Yet, the people of Israel showed us that when we follow God's instructions, even the greatest obstacles can be overcome. Today, we all face our own walls of Jericho. They may be challenges at work, in our personal lives, or in our spiritual walk. These barriers often seem insurmountable, just as those walls seemed to the Israelites. But the lesson we learn is clear. God not only gives us the strength to face them, but He also guides us with perfect plans to bring them down. All He asks from us is faith, patience, and obedience. Jericho also teaches us something about time and perseverance. The walls didn't fall on the first day, nor the second, but at the exact moment determined by God. So, we must remember that the answers and victories we seek may not come immediately, but they will come at the right time, at God's time. And Pufreg, this story inspire you to face your challenges with courage, trust in divine plans, and persevere, even when the journey seems long and difficult. Remember, just as the walls of Jericho fell, your barriers can fall too. You just need to have faith. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comments. What other Bible stories would you like to explore with us? Until the next video!